Hello again. Well, it's still Friday when I'm recording this, so I'm still wearing the same outfit. It's not my dressing gown, by the way. It's one of what they call a lounging caftan. So I just wanted to tell you now that I'm not exactly wearing my dressing gown. But it's very useful. It's a lounging whatever. Caftan, I think we call it. My ex-husband used to call them my Demis Roussos outfits, yeah. So what it is that I'm going to do today is, I wasn't exactly challenged by Z, but she did say anybody who wants to do the challenge should do it. So apparently she used the questions that were from Ross. It's 20 plus questions with Z, but obviously it's with me now. And Ross, the smells great guy, is he called? Yeah, I think he is. Does he smell great guy or smells great guy? Not sure. Ross anyway. He gave these questions to Z. So it's 20 plus questions, so I'll start with number 1. What does your name mean? Well, I always thought my name was Scottish, which was Janet, and it is Scottish in a way, but it also comes from the French Jeanette. I'm reading this because I had to look it up. And it's called from the Hebrew, which is God is merciful. But I was actually called that after my paternal grandmother. She was a Janet. And the pet name for that is Jessie, which I've never been called Jessie in my life. I've been called Jan, obviously. And Nettie, that's what my 2 young nieces used to call me when they were little. Nettie, Auntie Nettie. That was because I used to say, I hate my name because people used to pronounce it Janet. And I used to say, I am a net, not a knit. So that's where I got the nickname Auntie Nettie from. And they still call it me sometimes, going Nettie. Yeah. The other part of my name is Elizabeth, which is called after my maternal grandmother. And that again is Hebrew. It's from Elisheva, who was the mother of John the Baptist. So again it's Hebrew. And there's 2 names, really, 2 meanings for it. One is my God is an oath, and the other one is pledged to God. So I'm very biblical in my names. Although I don't think my parents actually thought about that at the time. I think they just called me after 2 grandmas, which was the thing that people did back when I was born. You either got called after your grandma or an auntie or something, you know. That's how names kept circulating all through the generations, really. So that's what my name means, anyway. Where am I from? I'm from a little town called Royton, which was more of a village when I was born there. And it's near Oldham in Lancashire. And it was very small when I lived there. Everybody knew everybody, you knew all the streets, you knew everything. But of course, as the years have gone on, it's expanded and now it's quite a biggish town. I won't say it's expanded for the better. I liked my childhood. It was a safe place to be. You could go out and play. You could do whatever you wanted. And your parents didn't worry about you. You know, it was that everybody knew you. No matter if you did anything wrong, it used to get to your mum and dad before you got home, yeah? It was that kind of a place, yeah? Everybody watched over you, everybody took you in as if you were part of the family. It was a great place to grow up. You know, if you wanted a drink of water or anything like that, you could knock on anyone's door. And you always called everybody Auntie, you know. Auntie so-and-so, can I have a drink of water, please? Yeah, sure, no problem. Yeah. You all right? Tell your mum I said hello and all that, and he'd give you a drink of water. No, there was no of this, ooh, we can't knock on people's doors. There was none of that when I grew up, which I'm grateful for. Right, number 3, which was my favourite subject in high school? I went to grammar school, really, so there were 2 favourite subjects I had. One was English. English literature was preferable, and the other one was art. I wasn't particularly good at art. I was better at the crafty side of it, which has continued all my life. But I realised quite early on that art I wasn't good enough to do art at a higher level, like at university or something. Right, what is my biggest accomplishment? Oh, I could say my son, couldn't I? But I don't know. Appearing in a naked knitting calendar, and appearing on the TV once because of this calendar. I've got YouTube videos, if you ask me nicely, I'll show you where they are, showing about this calendar that we made, and I think that's my biggest achievement, apart from my son, of course. Yeah. What is my favourite candle scent? I quite like vanilla, or, you know, one of those not too heavy scented ones, you know, the lightly scented ones. There is another one that I like, but I can't remember the name. But I do quite like, you know, the winter ones, when you get the cinnamon and the, you know, the red candles that burn in the Christmassy. They're very Christmas, aren't they? I do like those, but only at Christmas. Don't want them all year. Yeah. Can I cook? Haha. Used to be able to cook. I used to cook a lot. When I got married, I couldn't cook at all. My mum bought me a very basic cookbook, and I sort of gathered my way up from there. I don't cook now. Very rare I cook. Just something simple like, you know, some fish or something, or chops or something like that. I can cook, I suppose, if I put my mind to it, but I prefer not to. Yeah. What is good about my life right now? Lots of things. Lots of things are good about my life right now. I like the place that I'm at, you know, where I am, not where I'm at health-wise, but we'll just ignore that bit. But I am where I'd like to be. Yeah, you know, we've started our shop off with crochet, which is something that both of us, me and Kelly, have always wanted to do. So that's a good place to be at, because we've actually finally done what we thought we would do. Over the last 2-3 years I've known Kelly, it's always been on the agenda, but never quite made it. So that's what's good about my life right now. Yeah. What is my sign? I'm a Sagittarian. I'm a fire sign. Live up to my name, apparently. Although I do hold my temper very much in check these days. I was very fiery when I was young. Very, very fiery. But I think age calms you down, doesn't it? So, you know. It's supposed to be a good sign to be. Whenever I look at horoscopes or anything like that, you know. Sagittarius is supposed to be a lucky sign or whatever. So, hopefully, let's think it is, yeah. What scares me about aging? It's not the actual years, because I mean, like, I'm 74 now. It's the thought of ill health that scares me about aging. The thought of being worse than what I am now, and the thought that terrifies me the most, dementia. Yeah. I really would not like to think I was going down that route. Every time I forget something, when I'm, you know, when I'm doing something, I forget. And I think, oh no, is that the first sign? So that's what scares me about aging. What is my favourite holiday? I'm very boring, really. Just going somewhere pretty, lying on the beach for a while, and somewhere where there's something nice to look at. I mean, as you probably guess if you know me, I thoroughly enjoyed my holiday to Skiathos, which was where they filmed a part of the first Mamma Mia film. And it's so pretty there. Oh, it's just so lovely. And the churches and everything are absolutely magnificent. And all these artifacts are there on display, and nobody steals them, you know, which is great, isn't it? You can walk into these churches and you can sense the atmosphere of the many hundreds, thousands of years that people have gone into there. And you can sort of feel it in the stones as you're walking on the stone bits and that. It's got such a tremendous atmosphere. And I also love the little winding streets and the little shops, you know, that sell all these knickknacks and that. And the beaches are to die for. They're absolutely fantastic. So that was my favourite place, Skiathos. What is my guilty pleasure? Oh, you mean apart from buying wool? Probably the odd dark rum and coke. I don't drink an awful lot, and sometimes a bit of chocolate, which I shouldn't have because I'm diabetic, but that's my guilty pleasure, really, yeah. What's my favourite show to binge watch? Oh gosh. It's usually something that's a bit crime involved, you know, like Harrow and NCIS, things like that. And I used to watch Rosewood as well. They're the type of things I like to watch, yeah. What is the one thing I can't leave the house without? Well, I would say my brain, but that's attached to me, isn't it? Definitely my purse. It doesn't matter so much to me if I leave my phone at home because nobody ever rings me. So it's got to be my purse. Even if I'm not going to buy anything, I need my purse. It's like security in case I need a drink or something, yeah. Am I a morning person or a night owl? Definitely a night owl. I cannot put myself to bed at a reasonable hour. So therefore in the morning I am absolutely shattered in the morning. I wish I could be one of those people who's very strong-minded and said, right, I'm going to go to bed at 11 o'clock tonight. Doesn't happen. It's always the wee small hours because I get my second wind, as my dad used to call it. So that is what I am. I'm a night person. What is your favourite genre of movie? It's not really romantic things, although I did like Bridget Jones's Diary. I think mysteries. Nothing too scary, you know, I don't like scary movies and stuff. I think a mystery movie, you know, a bit like Agatha Christie type movies and things like that. They're more what I would like to watch, yeah. Don't go to the cinema though, too expensive. What is the last thing that you bought? Well, I can show you what the last thing I bought was. Paco Rabanne aftershave. I know it's supposed to be for a guy, but I love it. It's just a nice light perfume. I would have preferred to have bought the, not the perfume bit, what do they call it? The spray, but it was too expensive, so I settled for the aftershave. So that's why. What's your favourite book? Well, my favourite book from when I was a child used to be The Borrowers, if you've ever read those. Followed closely by Ballet Shoes, which was by Noel Stretfield, I think he's called it, Stretfield. Because when I was a child, I was absolutely crazy about ballet. I used to do ballet all the time. I actually got accepted to go to RADA, but then I got turned down at the last minute because I've got a short toe. And they decided that it would be too much at risk for me going on with points. I didn't think at the time of being, 7 years old, that I would have to go to London and leave my parents and to enter my head. So that would be another reason why I wouldn't have gone, because I was very much a homebody, so I wouldn't have gone. But I did pass the test to go. What has required the most courage of you in your life so far? Getting divorced, I think. It took a lot of courage to get divorced. I was leaving financial security and everything to step out into the unknown, if you know what I mean. I just knew that I was desperately unhappy and that I couldn't carry on in that situation. But we are going back to the time where there was no real help for anybody who was divorced. You had to do it all on your own. It was all up to you to earn your money, up to you to get yourself somewhere to live, etc. So I think that required the most courage of anything I've ever done, was to actually do that. What is my favourite drink? It's got to be coffee. I'm a real coffee person, yeah. Not specifically ground coffee. I don't like the too strong coffee. But I do drink my coffee black, but it's usually the instant kind. But I do like a decent brand, if you know what I mean. What's my favourite food? Oh gosh. Christmas dinner. Gotta be Christmas dinner, that's my favourite food. Or something really simple like steak and chips or egg and chips. I can eat egg and chips every day of the week, yeah. I love it, yeah. What's my favourite music genre? I'm very eclectic. I swing from Andrea Bocelli and Il Divo, and I swing all the way back through to reggae and sort of electro and stuff like that. So I don't really have a favourite one. What's my favourite time of the day? Has to be afternoon. I like afternoon, where I can either do what I want, you know, I've done maybe a few little chores in the morning, and I can sit down and crochet or sit down and nurse Gigi. And sometimes, don't tell anybody, I have a nap. Hmm? Yes, I'm getting to that age where I have a little nap. Yeah. Am I high maintenance? Definitely not high maintenance at all. No, quite the reverse. I don't hanker for diamonds, expensive jewellery, expensive clothes. No, no. So I'm not high maintenance at all. How many countries have I been to? Oh my goodness me. France, Spain, Portugal, Turkey, the Canary Isles, and Greece. I think that's it. 6. What was the first amusement park I went to? Of course it was Blackpool, wasn't it? Blackpool Fun Fair. That's like our local, very tacky place to go, Blackpool. But it was the closest one because we didn't have a lot of money. So the fun fair, the amusement park at Blackpool was as far as I ever went. Yeah. What's the scariest movie I've ever watched? Oh gosh. Well, I can tell you the first scariest movie I ever watched. It was Kiss Me Kate. My brother took me when I was only a child, and it was the days of the 3D. And when Kate was, it was the Taming of the Shrew it's from. And when Kate was throwing things at him, apparently I was underneath my chair because I really thought they were coming through the screen at me. And my brother had to keep hiking me up out this. So that's one of the scariest ones I've watched. I've watched other scary ones, but I tend not to watch them. I tend to walk away or turn them off. Yeah, don't like scary movies. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest and 1 being the lowest, rate my fashion sense. My fashion sense tends to be sort of stuck in a groove of the 60s or the 50s even. So I would say maybe about 5, something like that. Because I'm very, what I like to wear. I don't really follow fashion. Just because it's high fashion doesn't mean I'll wear it. I wear my own thing. I like to be different. Do I see my glass half empty or half full? Definitely got to be half full. I'm not a pessimistic person. I have my moments like everybody else when things are going a bit wrong and you think, you know, you do the why me, don't you, and all that jazz. But no, by and large, I'm very optimistic. I always think things are going to get better. Would I rather have a friend who's very blunt with their words or a friend who tells a lot of white lies? Definitely not white lies. There are times when white lies are permissible. You know, if you put on an outfit and you want somebody to like it and they just say, oh, that's horrible, take it off. No, I wouldn't want them to be that blunt. And it's the same with my friends, I wouldn't be that blunt with them. If they were buying it and asking my opinion before they bought it, I would say, well, that's not the most flattering thing I've seen you and I preferred you in such and such a thing. Yeah. But if they'd bought it, I would never tell them anything. I would just say, oh yes, it's quite, you know, it's nice. It suits you, you know. Not something I would wear, but it suits you, yeah. And the last question, which is number 30. Would I rather live in a rural area or the suburbs? Well, I actually live in the suburbs, but because I'm surrounded by so much greenery, as you've seen from my videos, it's kind of countrified, if you know what I mean. I'm in touch with a lot of nature. I would not like to live in the city. No way would I like to live in a city, you know, with main roads rushing past me and everything. No. So I like being in the suburbs, yeah. I think that's about it for now. That's all that's on the list that came from Zoe. I know there's another one going around with crafty things that you like to do, but you all know me by now. I think you know all the crafty things I like to do. So I'm not naming anybody. If anybody feels like they want to do this, the questions are all written out on Z's channel, on the one that says 20 plus questions with the Z. She's written them all down. The same way that Ross Smells, oh, I can't say it, Smells Great Guy has written them down for her, yeah. So it's up to you. Do you feel like doing it? Do you feel like doing it? And you'll all be glad to know that this is my last video for the day. It is now absolutely dark outside. I need to go and draw my curtains in the front room and put a light on, because Gigi is sitting there in the dark at the moment, which he won't like because he can't see out the window. So, yeah. So I think that's all I need to say about me. Except I'm extremely optimistic, and I'm going to do a plug. Please look at Lancashire Crafty Lasses. That's Kelly and I's shop. Kelly and I's. Kelly and me. Our shop. And, you know, we would like you very much to have a look at it and just see what you think, you know. So we've got high hopes for it. We've got every confidence in its success. And so we've got fingers crossed for the early new year. It's early days yet, we've only started it off a couple of months, so we're not expecting wonders yet. So, I shall see you all on Saturday, if I've still got enough strength left after watching The Decorator. I'll see you all on Saturday, so bye for now.